Welcome to Talking Again podcast. I am your host, Fidel. This is the TAP. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and don't forget to click the notification bell. You can also find the show on all popular podcast apps such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you listen. Let's tap into it.
So yeah, high school was like with video productions would like started the artistry, you know? Because I was like, damn, I can fucking do this all day.
Yeah.
He had like a little donut shop in the back too. It was pretty sick.
Yeah.
From there it was like I went to the Art Institute, in North Hollywood.
Yeah.
Bro, I used to take the Metrolink to Union Station, then would take the subway, the Red Line, all the way to North Hollywood.
Yeah.
Took like 2 hours to get there in a 4-hour class.
Fuck.
So then 2 hours there, 2 hours back. It was, yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool. I slept on them. I got to sleep because both of my stops were the very last stop on each train.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Did you get a grant for that? That's expensive school, right?
no, I didn't. No, I paid for it out of pocket.
Damn.
Tattooing funded a lot of it.
Yeah.
Street pharmaceuticals did too, but yeah. I had to pay for it. You know,
The street pharmaceuticals are like.
using a vocabulary we all can understand. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, just problem solving.
Yeah. There you go.
But yeah, art institute. It didn't really work out because it wasn't. Dude, I had math and a history class at the art institute,
Yeah.
and that's when I was like, nah, this really ain't for me. Like, I didn't come to art school to take a math class.
See, I thought art school was just art school. They actually you have to take those curriculums.
Yeah, that was part of because I was in you get the bachelor's. I was in just an associates of graphic design.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I previously stated, street farmer schools is where I learned my mathematics. You know?
Yeah.
Quarter, half,
Grams.
Yeah, grams.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything other and above that, and oh man, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
How I apply it to my life is like, you have all these variables. Back in like second grade, it was 2 + 2 = 4. Like, there was no question about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Then you get to sixth grade and it's 2xy + 6xy = you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
whoa. Then your whole high school, you're like relearning that, and it's like, bro, get back to the basics. Like,
Yeah.
you got to eliminate all your variables,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's what I try and do on a daily. You know?
Do you think it's changed, like the way that we think and we're teaching the youth is now finding out the whys? Before it was like, it is what it is. 2 + 2 was 2 + 2.
Yeah.
Now it's like, why is 2 + 2? Have you noticed that?
No.
I mean, well, because
Now
you say you have kids, right? So they
Yeah.
they come back with a homework and they got to explain everything,
Well-
why they did that formula, and
yeah.
you know.
You always you got to show your work, but now it's how you say the equation,
Yeah.
because you don't want to hurt Johnny's feelings over
Oh,
there,
shit.
because
Now-
Johnny's dressing like a girl.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's
a whole
the way
different- yeah.
it's scary, man.
Make America
Where-
great again.
Hashtag. Yeah, it was scary because me and my daughter's mom had talked about possibly putting her into Catholic school.
Yeah.
Simply because of the fact that certain events, traumatic events, can scar. They're traumatic for people, you know.
Yeah.
And I would lose my mind if my daughter was in the bathroom and there's a dude in there who thought he was a girl, because people are not afraid to hurt his feelings.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, and
Yeah.
you know, like, if you're a boy, you're a boy. If you're a girl, you're a girl. But also how you live your life. If you're flamboyantly gay and you know that your guy friends don't want to be hit on, you still hit them, bro. You're antagonizing the issue.
Yeah.
But if you could be cool, like I have plenty of gay friends and they keep it cool. Most of the time, you can't even tell they're gay.
Yeah.
Women, the same thing. Like, so just be cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, and to that point, that goes for me personally. It goes the same way. If you're flamboyant, anything, boy or girl, that's annoying as fuck.
Yeah, nobody.
You know what I mean? Like, you can be gay. I don't care, man.
Yeah.
But if it's a heterosexual female
Mhm.
and she's flamboyant, you're annoying as fuck. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah.
But that's
'Cause-
annoying. I don't hate you because you're heterosexual, or I don't hate you. Again, it's not that I hate you, but you're not annoying to me because you're gay or because you're heterosexual.
Yeah.
You're annoying because you're flamboyant.
Yeah, the sexual orientation of a person usually doesn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
They make it an issue just because that's an easy scapegoat, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm the same way. Like, bro, if we're in a restaurant or if we're even at a bar and you're like, acting a certain type of way, it's like, hey man, like, you're just attracting attention, whether good or bad.
Yeah.
You know. Either which way, I'm just trying to chill, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
So, yeah.
I'll tell you this. I will go to a party, and I am the kind of guy that likes to be the center of attention sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'll fuck around, and I might dance a little funny, and
Oh, bro, I dance.
try to get obviously a lot of that is influenced by alcohol, but
Hey.
when you get that liquid courage, and
You know what I'm saying? Everything's possible.
No, how was it? Kevin Garnett said it. Remember Kevin Garnett?
Kevin?
Hey, when he won that Boston championship, he goes, "Everything is possible."
I didn't see that.
Remember that shit?
No.
That was annoying and flamboyant as fuck.
Did
because
you mean Kevin Hart?
No,
Or
Kevin Garnett.
Kevin Garnett.
Remember when he played for the Boston Celtics? Maybe it's annoying and annoying because I'm a Laker fan, but
Oh, really? No, I didn't.
you don't remember that? We'll get to that in another
All right.
podcast.
We'll come back
the
to
sports
that. We're going to
podcast.
put that right there on the post-it notes. Come back to that.
Oh, man. So I forgot to introduce my guest. We've started recording. We can.
Oh, yeah, that's
we don't have to edit anything. So my guest today, Rhyan Schouman.
Yes.
I was going back and forth because the way you spelled it, I spelled it wrong here 3 different ways, like you mentioned earlier. But the way it's spelled on my phone now is RHYAN SCHOUMAN.
That is correct.
So when I first was trying to pronounce your name, I was like, Schouman? Is he a Schouman? Is he from Peru? Or
No, it's actually
tea?
German descent.
Yeah.
My dad's a German and Irish.
Mm-hmm.
Drinking. And my mom's Native American and Mexican. So, I get best of both sides of the world, I guess.
But your dad's your dad's not not Mexican at all. It's
Nope.
just German.
He's a
Irish.
ginger.
Ginger. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You didn't get any of his traits, huh?
I get orange in my beard.
Yeah.
I have his temper. I have his hustling abilities.
Yeah.
He's a people person for sure.
Yeah.
Like he could sell water to the polar bear or whatever, ice to a polar bear.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You can sell ice to a polar bear.
Yeah.
Or an Eskimo.
An Eskimo,
right?
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that one too. But then,
Oh, I'm the king of butchering those
right
sayings.
And I always look towards someone like, is that right? Like judges ruling, judges. But no, yeah, my dad, yeah. We had our differences, especially me and my mom. But we had our differences. But at the end of the day, it's my dad, it's my pop.
Yeah.
I actually texted him today to see if he wanted to go to the Pomona swap meet. I'm not really into cars, but it was just a fun time with my dad growing up.
Yeah.
He would drag us 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Come on, guys, let's go to the car show.
Yeah.
Like, Dad, I don't want to go to the car show. It's Sunday, man.
At 4 a.m. you guys would go to the car show?
Huh?
4 a.m. you guys were
yeah, that's when all the old dudes, wake up.
That's true.
They're, they got their donut and their coffee and they're ready to go.
Still right there at the Fairplex?
Yeah, right there at the Fairplex, yeah. We would just walk around, see. He collected the diecast John Force drag race cars.
Yeah.
So we always see if we could find little knickknacks like that. But now it's like this time I get to spend with my pop,
Yeah.
Because my life be busy, crazy busy, and I'd be lucky if I get to talk to him maybe once a week or so. But doing something like that is cool. Then my mom, she's a slave driver, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's got lists for days. She's probably got lists for you. She don't even know you. She leaves lists out for people. Yeah. My brother still lives at home, right? And growing up, it would be chore lists.
Yeah.
Take out trash, clean your room. The stuff that okay, I know I got to take out. The trash is full. Let's take it out,
Yeah, yeah.
My mom likes to sit there with her coffee, and she'll just write lists for everybody,
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty tight shit back there. But
she's a good delegator.
Yeah, she likes structure, we'll say.
Yeah. That's good, though.
Yeah,
structure builds stability.
She was quite the character growing up. Yeah. We didn't get along for many years, but we finally found our balance simply because I accept her and her flaws, and she accepts me and my flaws, and our relationship's a lot better now. Being a tattoo artist, they weren't terribly supportive of it at first.
Yeah.
I'll give them that they tried, but it's they're from the right past the baby boomer era, before the disco and nom. So they're right there in the middle. Whereas tattoos were on bikers and prison inmates,
Right.
So they don't. That when I tattooed the majority of my body, they're a little taken back, but now that they see us on the TV shows and their doctor and their mechanic and everybody has tattoos, they're a little bit more accepted. They've never gotten a tattoo. I don't think they ever will get a tattoo.
Yeah. Well, at this age, you're right.
You know,
Well, do you get any older people like that get their first tattoo at the age of like 50 or 60?
oh yeah, man,
Oh, yeah?
all the time. Like I have clients that they lose their spouse or something like that,
Yeah.
and it was something that their spouse had always talked about maybe getting, and they go for it.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they're in there once a week. And then Granny's got a full sleeve,
Damn.
I kid you not, man.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see the cultures integrate like that,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and come together over something that's, taboo as it was back at maybe even 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It was very, very taboo. But now, yeah, it's definitely more accepted.
I was just talking to somebody about that this weekend or this week because, as you know, I'm a Lyft driver. That's how I met you. I was giving you a ride somewhere.
Yeah, best driver ever.
Yeah, best driver. Shout out to Fidel, the Lyft driver.
Yep.
Too bad I can't get any referrals that way because you can't ask for a driver.
No, you can't, huh?
Yeah, you can't.
Hey, but you know what I just realized?
What's that?
So, my roommate's a girl, right?
Yeah.
They categorize you. Whereas when I order a Lyft or a Uber, I get sent mails all the time.
Really?
Very, very rarely. But for like a week or so, my account's been down. My roommate has been ordering, and she's a female.
Yeah.
And I've been getting very, very good-looking women showing up to pick me up and take me place. Yeah, it's a trip.
Yeah.
And I didn't never put two and two together because I make friends left and right. Okay, obviously,
Yeah.
but all my friends. It made me realize that we're all guys that were my Lyft drivers.
Yeah.
And then she started ordering them, and the women are a little bit more docile. They're a little bit more timid, But yeah, dude, it was a trip. I was like, damn, they categorize you like that.
It's weird though because, well, not weird, but I guess it makes sense. There's been, you heard like maybe started 6 months ago or probably longer, that these cases have been coming out about Lyft, like dudes that are raping chicks or whatever.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like so. For a while, when I started riding Lyft, is when all that shit was coming out. They had podcasts about it. Like,
Yeah.
I was listening to podcasts about it.
You're like, hey.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start driving Lyft. They didn't put two and two together. I just did it for monetary value, for me. But I never considered that they would get female drivers to female
For the
drivers.
female, yeah, because every time,
It does make them feel probably more comfortable. Maybe.
most definitely, you know. Yeah, and I know, honestly, probably till about maybe 20 minutes ago when I was talking to her inside, I was like, yeah, have you realized that, a lot of women pick me up when you order it, but when I order it, it's always men? And she stopped too, and she's, you're right.
Yeah.
So it was a trip,
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, dude, I've met some of the most colorful people, in a sense of like sense of humor, lifestyles, Lyft drivers and Uber drivers, bro. That, oh man, like I've met old dudes that I was like a 90-hour drive or a 90-minute to an hour drive.
Yeah.
And they didn't stop talking once.
Yeah.
And then I've had the quiet emo people.
Yeah.
I've had the younger guys, high as shit, trying to hide it. You know what I'm saying? trying to be cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, bro, like I don't care, just don't kill me.
Yeah, just don't kill me.
Like I was in Florida, right?
Yeah.
And this little old lady, bro, we must have circled the airport 5 times, and both you could see the map on your phone, right?
Yeah.
So me and my buddy are in the back seat, and we're looking at it like, hey, you just missed the exit again. She's like, oh, honey, relax. I lived here my whole life. I know where I'm doing. I know where I'm going. Oh my God, dude. And the whole car smelled like alcohol.
Yeah.
But we were just busting up because seriously, we circled the airport probably like 3-4 times.
Yeah.
Like, and she knew where she was going.
At what point did you go, hey man, we'll just walk?
No, well, I think my buddy Joe, what was it? I think it was Joe. He had shown her his phone, like, hey, look, it shows you that you're supposed to go right back there.
Yeah.
But her phone, it was like a Obama phone, I guess you could say. So it was a little bit slower than an iPhone,
Yeah.
And we had iPhones.
The Obama phone.
Yeah. It was a little bit slower, so but dude, all you had to do was look to your left, and there's the airport.
There's the airport.
And she just kept it. Oh yeah, but
you know what she was doing? She was collecting on the hours.
I don't know, man.
On the minutes driving.
No, I don't know if is that how they charge you?
Yeah, they charge you by minute and mile.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone got paid out. we were a little bit buzzed and we had time to kill, so we were having a ball.
Fuck it.
Look, watch her, she's gonna miss it again.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no. Well, where I was going with that was that conversation that I had. I picked up this girl. I dropped her off, and she was telling me about how she's she's faithful now, going to church, doing all her thing, right? She's going through a lot of issues with drugs, but fell off the wagon. She's back on. She's good now. But she still works at a tattoo shop.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure what she does, but it's a tattoo shop where she works. Maybe she's a receptionist. I don't know.
Maybe piercer.
Oh, you know what? That's what she does. She does piercings.
Yeah.
She does piercings at a tattoo shop. And she says, like, yeah, her parents give her a lot of shit. Like, still, like, you got to get out of there. But she goes, no, I'm trying to get over this, and there's no easier way or harder way to do it than in a tattoo shop, you know, like like
See, I commend her for that.
yeah,
she's facing your
still
fears.
doing it, yeah. And we're talking about the whole face tattoos,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I guess she had a tattoo right here by right,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't notice it because her hair was down, but I was talking to her about, I think Mike Tyson's one that kind of made it famous, or not famous, but made it okay.
Kat Von D, I would say.
You said okay. Well, yeah, because
Remember?
the show.
Yeah.
Inked.
LA Inc.
LA Ink. Okay.
First it was Miami, but I would agree with Mike Tyson. Yeah, he was the one that put it on TV. He was one of the first celebrities that had a face tattoo.
Maybe
a very successful celebrity at that, you know.
Yeah.
But look at his job. He got beat and he beat people up.
Yeah.
So it's still like, you know, Kat Von D. You know, she actually grew up right out here in San Bernardino. I do believe Redlands or Rialto.
Yeah, because she had that dude Tyler or something like that in Upland that she would work with. He was on the show. All the time. Corey, that's it.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Corey. I think Upland, right? That's
right there in Upland, 6 feet under on 2nd Avenue.
6 feet under.
Very cool crew over there. I know them personally.
Yeah.
He's got Henry Powell, Obed. Very, very solid, good crew right there.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, I would say she was the one that showed the world that there's a different side of tattooing.
Yeah.
That it's not just you pick it when we stick it. You know, that was I think the main concept behind all those shows was like, hey, we don't just pick things off the walls and tattoo them. You come in with your loved one's picture that you just lost. Mm-hmm. They loved the sea, and we're gonna make it into a mermaid with a background that was a sunset, beautiful, with a couple dolphins jumping around. And that show really skyrocketed the tattoo industry, but moved it forward generations, you know.
Oh yeah.
Because it was before that show, I would say before pre-2005 to 2007, you were a prison inmate, a biker, a gang member, or something that had tattoos, or a military, like a seaman or a Navy person. That was who had tattoos, you know. Mm-hmm. And it was very like, oh, you have a tattoo, you must be off the deep end or do drugs or something like that, you know. Which, I mean, that's fine. But after that show, I would honestly say that it was more like the story of your life that you're trying to tell through body art, you know. That show really, it's a love and hate thing, because it made for the old timer tattooers, it brought a whole wave of apprentices into the industry. Yeah, people that just want, I want to be a tattooer because it was cool. I mean, that's fine, dude. Like, people wanted to be a conductor of a train because that was cool when you were growing up. They want to be a fireman because that was cool. Right. But we were kind of, I was part of that generation that got kind of like shunned away and like, oh, you guys are just a bunch of young punks, you know, like, rah, rah, rah. But in the end, a lot of those tattooers aren't tattooing anymore, and it's the 18, 19-year-old kids that are picking up a lot of the technology a lot quicker with the iPads and all that, and it's the old timers that are, you know, they're getting lost in the times where we don't want to sit in the back of a dark shop with a smelly biker dude that only does one style of tattooing, you know, but he's charging people ridiculous amounts. Rather get tattooed by your buddy in the private studio. So back to, sorry, I go on tangents, but
oh, that's my show, dude.
Right? Hey, bro, we'll see.
But eventually we catch up and go back to the end.
Right? Yeah. Bullet point was, Kat Von D, I would say, was one that made it. Hey, you can have face tattoos, you can be a tattooer, and you could be covered in tattoos and still live your dream. You know? Which was, I mean, it was definitely inspiring to see that, especially a woman in a male-dominated industry such as the tattoo industry, like a beautiful woman like that, make it. It's awe-inspiring, you know. Yeah. Which now there's a lot of lady tattooers out there that are better than most of the men, you know. Yeah. That it's just the way it is. It's pretty cool, the industry, the way it shapes and evolves honestly, it used to probably be every 5 to 10 years it would shape and evolve with something new. Now it's about every 5 to 6 months.
You're right. Yeah.
Something else. All the companies, the supply companies, along with like the sponsorships, they're always trying to one up each other. Mm-hmm. So whereas nowadays, it just came out as a wireless tattoo machine. that you don't need wires anymore. The battery is connected to the back of the machine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there's a famous tattooer in Hawaii. His name's Robert Foe, where he's doing a whole line of photography where he's tattooing in the jungle. It's a cool concept. I think it lacks in the sterile part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you're in the jungle, you're in nature. Some
Yeah.
people like that a lot better than
How sterile can the jungle be, right?
Yeah, right. Oh, don't worry about that mosquito bite, bro.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
We'll paint over it.
Yeah. The coronavirus, no, that doesn't exist out here, you know.
Just another myth.
Yeah.
So when I asked you what you did, you said you were a visual artist.
Yes.
So I think like going to what you were saying about Kat Von D, that's kind of when she introduced it as art.
Yeah.
It's like you said, it's no longer a stick it or you pick it, we stick it. Now it's an art.
Yeah,
it's like storytelling, almost like this podcast is a storytelling. You know?
Most definitely, and that's the beautiful thing about it was, okay, so in the 50s to the early 2000s, you went to a tattoo parlor.
Yeah.
Sailor Moe's tattoo parlor,
right.
Philadelphia Eddie's tattoo parlor. You know, that parlor where it comes with like you walk in and you hear bzzz, bzzz,
Yeah.
and that green soap smell that everybody loves. That's the green soap, you know.
Never smelled it because I don't have any tattoos.
You didn't smell it. You didn't doubt it.
No.
So yeah, that
So,
I mean,
wait. Tell me about that smell real quick. What's that?
For my generation of people, it brings back your childhood days of when you were going either with your cousin, your dad, go get a tattoo.
Yeah.
Where you had to be a tough guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, back in the day, you had to bring a pair of Ray-Ban glasses. You sit there and you didn't wince, you didn't make a noise, you didn't. Hey brother, I want to get a shark right here. Do it.
Yeah.
You know, and you sat there and you kept a straight face and you're a tough guy. You know, you sat up straight. As a younger kid, you looked at that as like, you know, like
tough guy,
my dad's a tough guy or my cousin's a tough guy.
Macho. Yeah.
Human beings work off their five senses, okay? Whether it's touch, taste, smell, or whatever. That smell, it takes you back to when you were going with your dad to get tattooed. Every other Monday when he went for his session to finish his back piece or his leg piece, you were accustomed to that smell.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you looked forward to it. Honestly, that was you and dad time or whatever. Just giving you an example, but that smell, it's iconic to the tattoo industry.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when you walk into a convention, a shop, a studio, even a house or a garage, you smell that and you know that someone's going to get pain and someone's going to get some artwork.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to
it's like walking to a wood shop smelling that sawdust, that cut wood.
Or you're looking to buy a new car or something and you smell that new car smell and you're like, "Oh, I'm going to spend money today," you know?
Yeah.
Same concept, you know, different elements, but it brings you back to your childhood. And people I'll tell you what, man, one of my main goals being a tattoo artist is generational tattooing. Whereas, and I just accomplished this actually not too long ago. I've been a tattoo artist in the industry for about 10 years now. Mm-hmm. I'm going on my 11th year. I started out of the house, out of high school, actually. When I was still in high school, it was my senior year.
Yeah.
I was 17 years old. I watched this girl I was really close with. I watched her do a lot of people's tattoos. I kind of shadowed her and helped her.
Yeah.
Whereas I just saw what she was doing, man, and I was like, yo, I know I could do better than that. You know? Like, so the beginning of my senior year, I ordered my own machine off Amazon, you know, typical way. Yeah. Got it in 5 days, opened it up, pulled my pant leg up and tattooed my thigh, you know? Yeah. And honest to God, I never put it down after that. So it's been 10 years in the making, 10 years hard work, a lot of rewards, a lot of risks, a lot of all-ins, a lot of trial and error, you know? Yeah. Anything that's with anything in life. But I forgot what was the original point of that. I'll give you some more about my background though. Bro, I'll tell you what, I'm 29 years old. Yeah. And I never had a license. Why is because I would drive other people's cars and get tickets. Now like I probably can't get my license for a minute, but so I would call my buddies after school when they get out of school, whoever had a car, like, hey bro, I gotta go do this house call. Yeah. Can you take me over there? And I would have one of those Target white 3-drawer bins that you see at Target, Walmart, okay? Uh-huh. Packed full of all my stencils, my tattoo book that I would go. And this was pre-internet printout designs. Yeah. Like you just had you had a couple books with bird references and whale whatever.
Yeah.
And you get there and me, I just had Sharpies, you know, but yeah, this god ugly box, dude, full of like disgusting stuff, and I would throw it.
You're looking like a seamstress going out there.
Oh, dude, it was amazing. But that box would have the smell too, so people would like it. But no, we would go to these people's homes, and I would put the box in the back seat of their car, strap it in like it's a child,
Yeah.
pull up, go set up in this person's kitchen, and give them their tattoos, which were horrible to say the least. But I know, like I said again, I never gave up. You know,
Yeah.
I said, hey, I'm gonna be a tattoo artist. This is a cool gig. I could easily icebreaker the, excuse me, sorry,
Yeah.
with the talking to women. It's a good icebreaker.
Yeah.
Aphrodisiac, if you may.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Tattooers always have people that owe them favors. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, like, yeah, bro, yeah, I'll do it for $100, but you owe me a favor, you know.
Yeah.
You're very popular among everybody because everybody wants to be your friend if you're a tattooer. It's like you're I guess you're the local what
Celebrity, or you're
so
like
in the
kinda
city
like
in the city of Upland.
the community rock star almost, you know.
It was, but starting out there was 4 of us. There was that girl Sam, another guy RJ, me, and this other guy KJ.
Yeah.
And you know we had the same group of friends. We were in this. We're all down there in the same grade. But we would always like, oh, don't go to that guy. He scars, or don't go to this.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he's doing. You know.
Yeah.
I look back at it now and laugh, and I'm sure they do too. But we pitted it against each other. Whereas if we would have came together and worked together to figure it out,
Yeah.
we probably would still be rocking it today.
Yeah.
I'm the only one, to my knowledge, that is still tattooing today because I keep in close contact with some of them.
From you 4 that were starting off in Upland.
Yeah, out of Upland High. Yeah, I'm still the one that tattoos today. And you know, honest to God, like I've gotten for the first, I would say 3 years of my career, I did the out of home calls or whatever, because my mom would never let me tattoo at the house.
Yeah.
No, you may not.
She's all totally against it. Yeah.
Well, she was an interior decorator, and if oh my God, if there was crumbs on the couch, dude,
Yeah.
ooh.
Yeah, that's where you got your talent from, man. Your mom's an interior decorator.
I honest to God, now I look back at it and I'm so thankful because I would go to work with her and I would see the way that she talks to clients. I would see her mannerisms, how she presented herself, you know. And my mom's one of the most strong-willed, independent women I would ever hope to meet.
Yeah.
You know, I look up to my mom with everything. I owe her everything, you know. We did have a very, very, very rocky relationship because we were so alike. Whereas, I knew what I wanted to do and what I wanted to be,
Yeah.
and nobody's gonna tell me different. And I see that in her too now because if we fight or bicker and she knows she's right, bro, like till death she's right, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's it's a curse but a blessing also, you know. I look at it as a blessing. Try to. Yeah, we had our trials, tribulations, and just like any teenager. But even after that, for a while, you know, I always wanted to go out and do my own. But it's been 10 long years, man, with battling my parents,
Yeah.
just battling the times, and you know, myself mainly, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did you start, or I should say, because you started, you know, like you said, 10, 11 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But the drawing part of it, were you drawing as a child? Like, were you always out there just...
See, that's the funny part, man. I was backwards. Tattooing taught me how to draw.
Oh,
From
yeah?
tattooing.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even ask you. I'm sorry. What's the first tattoo on the inside of your thigh?
Yes, sir.
What was the first tattoo that you drew?
See, I'm a Sagittarius, and one of the basic Sagittarius signs is a arrow pointed a certain way.
Yeah.
And that was the first one I did.
So an arrow. I mean, arrows aren't that difficult to draw, but shit, if you can draw,
It's a straight line, man.
It's a straight. That was what I was gonna say. It's just either a straight line or a perfect circle. That's hard to draw.
Oh, dude. See, nowadays I love them because I've got a technique and a little time under my belt. But yeah, back then, dude, it was shading was the way you could. This was back right when needles on bars, what we call them, came out.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you didn't need to solder your needles together anymore.
Yeah.
You put them. You just ordered them by a box of 50 and you got them. So prior to that, on a Sunday in a tattoo shop, you had to make your needles for the week.
Yeah.
So if you only had 4 small mags, brother, you only had 4 small mags. You know what I'm saying? Because you weren't gonna halfway through the week start making more and stuff like that. You're too busy or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas nowadays you could do 50 tattoos in one day with all 50 needles, different styles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it opened the industry that way. It was cool. Those were glorious times.
The glorious time. How long did it take to solder a needle?
It depends on your experience level.
How long was it taking you to do like your 5 that you were doing?
About 6 days.
To do 5 needles?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh shit.
After after I got my belly button pierced for messing up a couple things in the tattoo shop, you kind of you start swimming. You don't sink. You know what I'm saying? It's like I was on the cusp of when I was an apprentice. The industry was changing at that point.
Yeah.
It
It's late. It's really late. We gotta let them know that it's really late. And
is really late.
yeah, but
We're drinking tea.
yeah.
It's tea time. But no, so back in the day there was stainless steel tubes.
Yeah.
You would have to get a wire brush, toothbrush, and get what was called like Alkanox, which was very, very dangerous.
Mhm.
Okay. Put gloves on, put an apron on, and you stand by the sink, you gotta scrub the damn tubes. Okay. Whereas if you left the tubes back there for too long, the ink caked on there.
Mm-hmm.
And if by any slight possible chance that one of the artists noticed a speck of ink on there,
Yeah.
boy, your arms were sore from the amount of push-ups. The mockery in the shop never ended, you know. Yeah, it was my favorite time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the last. I believe I was the last generation of apprentices that did that. To where I know how to tune a coil machine and a rotary machine, which the rotaries are the new ones. The rotaries are the ones quiet. They're just like bzzz,
Yeah.
okay. Coils, that's the traditional bzzz when you walk into a shop, you know. Yeah, I got taught both. I got taught my mentor, he was probably one of the best, most solid, truthful, honest men that I've ever met. His name is Jason Kramer. He works right here down the street at owns Upper Level Inc. He's this little white man that looks like he's afraid of his own shadow, you know.
Yeah.
But that dude is a beast,
Yeah.
you know. Like he could pull tricks, tips, and everything out of his back pocket whenever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were discussing earlier about having certain tools to do certain jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He was the one that told me the more tools you have, the more jobs you can accomplish. So always be looking to pick stuff up.
One of your tools that you're talking about is your specialties. You had mentioned that you get a lot of calls and a lot of work for your again, your specialties is lettering. That's one of your things. As you can see back here, some of the work that you've done. I know you kind of painted over some of the lettering that you did back here. Obviously on your Instagram, you can actually see a time-lapse video of all the lettering that was done. But lettering is one of the things that gets you a lot of gigs, right? A lot of outside calls.
The funny thing about that, dude, is, okay, so rewind back to 8th grade. 8th grade, I was in wood class, and in wood class, there was a cabinet. I was in advanced wood, so I had access to all the cool, fun things to do, right?
Yeah.
There was a cabinet in there that had spray cans. And me and all my wisdom decided, let's take some spray cans, have one buddy stand at the bottom of the hallway, another buddy stand at the top of the hallway, and one outside the bathroom door, while I would go in there and paint this huge, badass mural. Well, it just turned out I painted lettering on the wall, okay? I did that, thought I was badass, The next morning, over the morning announcements, the principal comes on. And if anybody has any information about the graffiti that was done yesterday in the bathroom, there's a $50 reward. All 3 of my buddies raced each other down there, dude. Raced each other to the principal's office, okay?
$50, dude.
Not only did they get suspended also for helping me, nobody got no $50. They honeypotted us.
Yeah.
Okay? Bro, I was
nowadays that's a lawsuit. You could have sued the school.
Oh yeah, most definitely. My feelings were hurt. I'm gonna sue you. But it was honestly it was eye opening. Like I couldn't trust anybody. But more I was at that time I was defacing a school property, whereas the teachers and the people there that I disliked, and I didn't like the school, so I thought defacing it would. That they don't own that. The taxpayers or whoever paid for that, you know.
Right. Yeah.
They paid for it for us to have a nice school.
Yeah.
And here I come and throw up. It wasn't anything special, but it probably looked like gang lettering to them.
Yeah.
And this is in Upland, dude. There's no gangs in Upland, you know. It's a beautiful area. So I got home, and funny you say Mike Tyson. It felt like I was boxing Mike Tyson that night with my hands tied behind my back.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom beat my ass black and blue.
Yeah.
It was pretty epic, if you say.
Yeah.
But she told me, don't be writing on anything ever, you know. Like, you can write on paper, you can write on your binder. Don't write on the walls.
Yeah.
Don't write on anything you're not supposed to be writing on. I always had a fascination with how the Japanese can get their kanji symbols with one stroke, and there's just something about it. It took a long time to realize what that was. We'll get back to that, but since before TV, since before there were airplanes, since before there were clothes, people were using symbols, lines, and shapes to convey a message or a story was being told using these symbols and lines and colors, you know? So I kind of like to relate my lettering to the hieroglyphic style, whereas it's this new style that's just formed. It's called the calligraffiti. It's calligraphy and graffiti put together.
Yeah.
It's beautiful when it's done correctly. Absolutely, there's just something about it, because with the lines and the letters, they're straight up and down, perpendicular, you know, and then you could put flow to them, and it's like a balance, you know.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's amazing when you have a good foundation, you can figure it out, and then you can bend the rules, you know.
Yeah.
It's a trip. So go back to what I was saying. I got expelled from junior high for tagging graffiti.
Yeah.
2 years later, I was sitting in a park with a Sharpie, just writing on the park bench or whatever, you know. And with my luck, a cop rolled by and seen it, picked me up, gave me a ticket, took me home.
Yeah.
Again, writing on
Back to the boxing.
Yeah, at that point, I was dipped up, dodge and dodge. If you could dodge a mom, you could dodge a wrench. But once again, she beat my ass black and blue. She threw me in the shower, I think, that time.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Oh, I don't know if you ever got beat with the belt in the shower.
No, never. I can imagine it.
Oh yeah, that one was magical too.
That wet leather.
But now you can kind of see why we had a little bit of a rocky relationship.
Yeah.
She swore, you're gonna end up in jail, this and that.
Mijo no es cholo, all that stuff, right?
They said cholos en barrio, which means a cholo without a hood.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was from Upland, dude. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, and that was the last time I got ticketed for graffiti. But after that, there was something about lettering, you know.
Yeah.
Like I could figure it out, and I could do something cool with it. So after that I started hanging out with that girl Sam and seeing her tattoo, and then started to tattoo. And then when I would lay a line into the skin, you get to a groove called the sweet spot.
Yeah.
And it's you can pull a line good 6 inches to a foot, you know.
Yeah.
And it's dope. It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Especially to get on point. But it was after that. What? Let's see.
The lettering.
No. I'm thinking. I didn't really get in trouble for lettering after that. I started doing script, and then from that, I was just like, wow, you could. If you know your grammar, you know what an adjective and a noun is, and a prepositional phrase. Oddly and strangely enough, lettering comes pretty easy. Yeah. So I'll say I'm writing the word savage. Okay, that word has impact. It feels like something smacked you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. Exactly my point. I wouldn't write the word savage curly Q wedding style, meaning on a wedding invitation. I wouldn't write it like that. I would write it with sharp edges, you know, really street looking, make it savage. Yeah. Now, if you're writing the word elegant, it's like, elegance, you know,
cursive.
So cursive-y, really real flowy, you know, design. And once I started to understand that through practice, trial and error, bro, it took off like a wildfire, because I would pick up different things from different artists around the country traveling, but I would still apply it to my style, what I thought I knew, you know?
Yeah. It's like giving a word an identity, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Somewhat.
You can say that. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Like it's, yeah, you got to know the rules in order to break them, pretty much, you know.
Yeah.
So, moral of that story was, I got expelled, and my mom beat the shit out of me for tagging on walls, and then now, I'm not really tagging anymore. I'm putting artwork on walls with the same letters. Those same 26 letters that I used to tag in that bathroom are the same 26 letters I use today.
Well, let's talk about that. The change in from street art, you know, the graffiti to street art now, right? All this that you see back here, something that you do now, it's huge now. It's big. Yeah. I mean, you've seen it left and right, especially here in LA. If you see all the murals that people are making, like the Laker murals, the Kobe ones, bring LeBron over here. Remember, we're trying to sound LeBron.
Yeah.
All those murals that they're doing, it's all street art now. Murals, right?
Yeah, I would agree.
Back in the day, like you were saying, it was a graffiti. It was tagging. You know, the only ones that did it, kind of like if you had tattoos where you're a cholo. Yeah. In the service, you're a biker.
A biker, yeah.
And now, it's like so normal that the tagging is not so much. I mean, even though I've noticed a lot more tagging in my city in West Covina. Yeah. But now it's more of an art. Where do you think that transition was? Was it the Kat Von D days? I mean,
it was the Kat Von D days mixed with Ink Master, mixed with keeping up with the times, because I remember when we first, when I say we, I mean my tattoo crew. Yeah. We walked into a show and this dude over there, he had a printer that was printing out all these stencils with no stencil paper, nothing to draw on the, you know how they stencil, yeah? Right, yeah. So, yeah, I took a liking to that. From there, it was like, I don't know. How am I trying to say? I got to think of how to word this. You go on with the next question.
Well, no, I mean, the another one I was saying was like back in the East Coast, you saw a lot of this murals. So it was a lot more common. I think, you know, I mean, I'm thinking movies 70s and 80s was a lot more common. When did it come out to the West Side? The West Side, we didn't really see too much of it. We saw mostly graffiti, like in the 80s and stuff like that, 90s.
See, this is what I was trying. The East Coast, yes, the graffiti was big. Why? But always think about demographic and geographic. Okay, why in New York and all those major bustling, the oldest cities in the country, why were they bombing trains? Bombing meaning like you do a huge piece on the side of a train. Okay. Because that train's.
I took that one very literal, bombing, when you said East Coast. I was like, what?
No. Yeah, it's called bombing, but that plane circles the island and drops off whatever it could, you know. But when it really hit was, I just had it in my head too. I forgot it.
The buses and.
Oh, the trains. Yeah, they circle the cities. They don't just sit there like out here. Then my buddy put it to me this way. It was beautiful. He said, in the West Coast, you go to the graffiti. In the East Coast, the graffiti comes to you. Yeah. Meaning the subway is traveling around the city at all times. The graffiti is coming to you at your door, at your window. All you have to do is look out it. Whereas in LA, you got to go to Venice Beach. You got to go to some of the hood areas in LA. Aquarium of the Pacific, you go look at it inside the building, you know? Right. I think that had a lot to do with it. I would say, yeah, it became mainstream. I see how worded it is perfect in my head. What we were talking about when it became mainstream.
Yeah, the transition from it.
Like tattooing.
I mean, did that play any kind of influence at all whatsoever, or the tattooing into the street art?
It did. More or less like Banksy did. I would say Shepard Fairey helped it a lot, to where Shepard Fairey's designs, the owner of Obey, he took a picture of Andre the Giant, the guy that drank 356 beers in a matter of, you heard that story? I remember that, yeah. But he started doing it and putting it on T-shirts. and it was edgy. It was cool. It was before that we were wearing the remember the little water guy and the Flame Boy,
Yeah.
the independent trucking.
Mm-hmm.
If you were a skater, you wore Vans and stuff like that. But now, Banksy helped push forward. A lot of the OGs did because the OGs. There's this man. His name's Chaz Bajorquez. Okay, I don't know if you ever heard of the Avenues.
No.
It's a pretty well known gang in L.A.
Yeah.
He was the one that first started hand styles, whereas you've been to hoods, probably you've been in California. Yeah. So at the beginning of the hood, it's called a nonstop.
Yeah, let's turn
actually a roll call. Excuse me.
Yeah.
A roll call now is Sniper, Tweety, Big Chulo.
Yeah.
Okay, but they were writing the same letters over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But with different words. Okay, so when you stand back and look at that, the consistency in the words, it look cool.
Yeah.
You know, and then at the bottom you throw up your hood like Big Hazard, Little Netty, and all that up there. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
You do that, but in a more professional way with better supplies, better paint on a cleaner canvas or a cleaner wall, with the foundation, not only just jailhouse taught or doodling on your notebook, which isn't a bad thing, but with a more solid foundation, it came more natural and a lot more elegant and beautiful looking. To whereas you could, the lettering can stand alone by itself, but what those men did was they put imagery in front of it and integrated those styles. That's really when that took off. There's artists like Retina. There's another guy named Mayonnaise. Even Norm. Norm's been around. Norm was from the East Coast, and he's been around he actually just passed away last year, but he pushed tattoo script into murals.
Yeah.
You know, if you now when you're doing lettering, there's one foundation. There's maybe one or two distinct moves that you do when you're doing lettering. All the rest is repetitiveness.
Yeah.
Okay, so diagonal up. But at the up part, it was like, okay, loop-de-loop or this or that. But it fluctuated per letter. But what all of them did was they made it cool, and then they started selling it to the rich people. Mm-hmm. Like rich people wanted something edgy in their den or their arcade room. Yeah. They didn't want 1950s posters anymore, or posters of Kershaw or whoever else it is. You know.
Yeah.
They wanted some custom dope shit. You know. Yeah. So that all those people that I just mentioned, they really, not in a sense opened doors, but they gave us hope. You know.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Well, yeah, they influenced you.
Influence, yeah.
Yeah.
We've been talking for a minute and my brain's going to mush.
No, yeah. But yeah, no, definitely that was your major influences into getting to where you're at now. Yeah,
like and it wasn't always about the money either. I never cared how much money they were making.
Yeah.
I didn't care really much of anything other than like, holy shit, that's a 70-story building that lettering is going down. How do I do that? How do I get there?
Yeah.
You know? And honestly, without Chaz Bajorquez, I hope that I'm not butchering his name, there wouldn't be that evil, dark, black and gray baby fetus eating the nun tattooing, but cleanly, solidly done. Whereas prior to that, you would only get that in prison.
Yeah.
See, and that you asked me something about California earlier, and you in California you have to be able to do all styles, but we originated black and gray here, meaning the prisoners were the ones that took the soot from a candle, scraped it off the plastic, put it into put a little more ink or liquid, and now you have tattoo ink.
Yeah.
You know, the garage door. Yeah, I would say like you were asking about
you're saying in California they have the
we originated black and gray in prisons. Okay. That's what you see on the walls too. Also, is a lot of just straight black lettering.
Yeah.
Go to the East Coast, it's neon colors. But why is that? Because the sun is beating our coast 80 to 85% of the year. East Coast, it beats during the summer, but that's about it. Yeah. Then it's winter weather and stuff like that. But
so they probably visualize it more in their mind, and we actually see it more often. So that they paint what they can't see. And what's more, what they visualize and what they're aspiring to get.
Yeah,
which is summertime.
Hey, and my buddy George, he put it to me this way: "It's like,
Yeah.
bro, you could be a millionaire, but what I'm trying to do is battle God."
Yeah.
I was like, "What, bro? What?" And he's like, "No, check it out. When you look at a sunset and you see those different colors, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
There's something about it, you know. When the red hits the blue, and the moon hits the sky, baby. But if you can recreate that, but then add touches that aren't there that should be there, you think, whether that's a sailboat, whether that's a woman's leg with stilettos, it enhances it. And what happens is you're challenging God because He made that beautiful sunrise. If you believe in that, I'm not trying to press any of that. Just a quick little mention. You're challenging God because you're just like, that's what you made. Watch what I can make. And I took that straight to heart, bro. I was like, no, like what? It took my level of thinking process a little bit higher.
Yeah.
To whereas like, yeah, if you can compete with a God on how to make a beautiful sunrise, sunset, then, I mean, you could damn near do anything, you know?
Yeah.
But
You're tripping out on that noise, huh?
yeah, I was like,
What is that noise? Yeah, I was tripping on it too earlier. But
no.
why don't we talk a little bit about because I kind of help, well, not help, but I did help promote a little bit of the foster kid art show that you had.
Oh, okay.
It went down February 22nd. How'd that go? First of all,
Well, so I do a couple different charitable events, or I do little charities, help out. But the main one was maybe 3 weeks ago on a Friday. I chose. Well, let's fast forward a little bit more. Okay, so I had this client come in one day.
yeah,
Okay, his name was Bruce. Beautiful soul, beautiful man. Someone I would like to emulate. So an idol of mine. Okay, whereas he pulled up in a brand new Chevy Escalade. You're driving a Chevy Escalade brand new like that. Okay, you got a little bit of paper.
right,
But he was humble about it, bro. He sat back and he listened to what I had to say without an intent to respond, more as an intent to observe and take in, you know?
yeah,
So while I was tattooing him, another buddy of mine that owns a car club, he came in to pick up some paintings that I had donated to breast cancer.
yeah,
Bruce saw me do that, and when my buddy went to write me a check for these, I gave him like 4 paintings or something like that. You know? I said, no, bro, like that's all you guys. You, I don't want anything from it. Make sure they get to a good home, you know?
yeah,
Bruce was sitting there and he's seen it, and now he's on the board of directors for what's called the Lila Project, which we go into high risk gang and drug activity areas, and go to the public libraries and set up like mentorship programs for boys ages 12 to 17. Why we do that is because we can't really tell a chick, oh yeah, we went through that, we know what you're going through. No, we can't, you know.
Yeah.
It's all men. But so through that, me and Dom started tossing around the idea of how could we give back to the community, or what organization we could go to. He had the idea of doing the foster boys, and yeah, so we set it up. We had 4 different houses come out to Lake Paris, 5 or 6 kids, but I had a classroom of 25 young gentlemen that they're awesome, you know, but they're fostered. So I half expected to get a canvas thrown at me when I walked in, you know, but when I walked in, I got a round of applause by all these boys, and nobody told them to do it.
yeah,
They just did it, you know. So that helped ease my mind. But so what we did is we took each artist or each student had a canvas to paint. So now in what I was always told is, you're not a professional artist until you sell a piece of art. You know what I'm saying?
right,
That's what makes you a professional. That's the other side of it.
yeah,
So I'd run that by Dom, like, dude, if they want something for Christmas or if they want something for their birthday, get out there and hustle. Don't sit back and wait for it to come to you. You know, there's plenty of people making money sitting on their ass on their laptop.
yeah.
Okay. It was I keep freaking
The paintings, the foster kids.
the foster kids. They were the most respectful young gentlemen, bro. They yes sir, please, thank you. I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I'm 29 years old, but it was a very humbling thing for Dom to ask me to do that. He put a Friday night, 25 kids to give up their time, and put it all in my control. So I didn't want to mess up. But we painted all those pictures. Some of them were a little bit like street and like that, so we didn't put them in the art show. Just we didn't want a bad stigma. But all of them sold. I do believe, yeah.
Yeah.
And that all came from when Bruce saw me donate to a car club.
Yeah.
So, and it was just simply by following through what I was saying I was gonna do. But
so what's the ultimate goal for that in that project? I mean,
the Lila project is to show them that there's different avenues rather than gangs and drugs.
Yeah.
Gangs and drugs, they're what makes the money go around. Money, you know. A lot of people say, "Oh, money is the root of all evil." I disagree 110%, saying not having money is the root of all evil because you're going to do whatever you can.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you eliminate that, you're left with the raw emotion. And I don't know if you've watched any of my time lapses, like like you mentioned, but bro, I paint with my emotions. You know, like I have to dig down deep and pull that out. So Dom and Bruce both seen that, and they're like, "Hey, he's a good dude." You know. Let's see what he's got.
Yeah.
So I went to this place and taught him how to paint. They left. We kind of boxed them up. Then we took them to a winery a week later and sold them at silent auction and all proceeds went to the houses. You know. Here, this is what I wanted to show them from the beginning. You do not have to sell drugs. I sold drugs, and it doesn't end. You end one of three places.
Yeah.
In the hospital bed, in the ground, or in
jail.
Prison. And it was humbling, dude. It was in the beginning I had a couple of kids that were like, I don't want to do it. I just want to do it, you know?
Yeah.
Towards the end they were asking me for canvases. So I knew something had gone right, you know?
Yeah.
Come to find out, I talked to the director of the whole thing, and he says he tells me, "Bro, I don't know what you did, but you're doing it right, because not one kid came and complained. Half to more than half came and asked how they can get canvases. Where they can get canvases."
Yeah.
So that was my goal, was to pretty much be like, "Hey, this is what I do on a daily." Like one of the kids raised his hand. He's like, "Hey, so how much or how often do you work out? Like, do you run and stuff like that?" See, my mind went blank again.
What kind of exercise do you run?
Hmm?
How often do you work out? He asked you.
Oh, no. How often do you paint? That's where I was going. How often do you paint?
You're thinking about working out. That's why, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to get my buff on. No, I've been talking for so long, and my brain's going mushy. But I'm a talker. He asked me, "Hey, how often do you paint? Like, you have a real job, right?" And I stopped and I said, "Bro, this is my job.
Yeah.
This is my day in, day out. You know, if I don't sell painting or if I don't tattoo, then my children go hungry, and I don't like my children hungry because they get cranky."
Yeah.
My little baby, I call my daughter my little piggy.
Yeah.
She hates it. She's like, "I'm not your piggy, daddy." But I looked him square in the eye and said, "Bro, this is what I do on a daily, every day. Okay, you have to be humble. You have to hustle hard. You have to be able to bite your pride. But you also, honestly, what I've learned is you have to give back. That's the main thing. Remember the 5 steps we were talking about?
Yeah.
We'll go through that in a minute. But giving back, bro. I've done the most I've ever worked on a singular person was up north in Alaska on a Navy fighter jet pilot.
Mm-hmm.
She was getting deployed, and she didn't feel sexy about herself. Her man had just left her, cheated on her. But so she wanted to get, starting as a tramp stamp, wrapped around her back all the way onto her shoulder.
Yeah.
That was the longest I ever sat with someone. I was close to like 15 hours straight.
Straight 15 hours.
Yeah. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but anyways, that was probably the biggest one I've done. The furthest I've ever been away from home, I like I said, I go to Hawaii a lot.
Yeah.
What else? Like the most challenging tattoo that I ever had to do.
Yeah.
I right off top, one of the most nerve-wracking tattoos. We'll come back to the hard one. My dad thought it would be a good idea to give his boss my number to come get a tattoo by me.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this guy, my dad's a truck driver. He owned, who was above my dad in that company, was the owner, the CAO. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. My son does tattoos. Sick. Yeah, go to him. You know.
Yeah.
So, the day of the appointment, I get there and I'm clean. I'm just nervous. You know, like telling all the artists, like, "Hey, if you guys can, I'm not telling you what to do, but can you keep the cussing down? No beers out. No partying. No, like, we need to look professional. You know,
Yeah.
like, this is my dad's boss." They all respected it. But so that was probably the scariest one, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I asked him, "Hey, just don't cuss," you know?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was nerve-wracking. almost as nerve-wracking as the foster kid thing. My style has changed, bro, so much in the past 10 years. Whereas I started as American traditional artist, then I went to neo-traditional, then I went to like not nude, but like a bikini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. As we wrap up the show, why don't you end with the 5 steps that we were talking about? Because I thought that was pretty solid. And you had mentioned that these 5 steps can be applied in any position, any goal, any kind of thing that you're trying to aspire to.
So like I said, I've been tattooing for a little bit over 10 years. There's certain. I mean, I'm a human being. Okay, there's times. Yes, I have misspelled words. Yes, I did mess up tattoos. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a human. I have bad days. My mind's going blank as I keep talking about random stuff. But anyways, so there's these 5 steps that I had to do a lot of self-reflection on over the past 10 years. What was helping me be success? What made my client come back? More than that, spread the word about my work.
Yeah.
And I came up with these 5 steps. I call them the 5 steps to success. And I started just doing it in tattoos, and then I applied it to my life, and I realized that it when you have the structure, but when you figure out how to go about it, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
So we'll go through them. Step 1 is consult. I meet my client, but in real life you meet the problem. Okay, that's what everything in life is about. Meeting a problem. Are you going to run from it? Or are you going to deal with it or whatever? Right. But step 1 is consult, is meeting the problem. Meeting the problem head on. Hey, what's up? I'm Ryan. You meet your client, but you get a vibe of how this client is. Are they stressed out about this appointment? Are they heavily tattooed? Are they expecting a certain level of artistry that you don't think you're capable of? You know. Yeah. That's the concept stage. Is kind of you meet the problem, but you analyze the problem. Okay. Right. Step 2 is a design. The design is about how you're going to go about solving the problem. Okay. Are you going to do a half sleeve? Are you going to do a full sleeve? Or are you going to do like just a little, we call them bangers, one single sessions. That's the design. Step 3 is pardon me. Step 2 is concepts. Okay. Concept is how you're going to go about, how you're going to attack the problem. Step 3 is actually a design. Design is, the needles you're going to use, the date and time of the appointment, but how you're going to attack the problem, you know, like what you're going to do, the steps needed to get the result you want to solve the problem. Yeah. Okay. They get confusing to me sometimes because I tell them a lot to people. Yeah. But there's a fine line between the concept and the design, whereas concept is you figure out how you're going to solve the problem. The design is the steps necessary to solve the problem. Okay. Step 4 would be execution. Okay. Execution is actually going about your problem solving,
gathering your tools and
but it's more or less like how you show up that day of the appointment. Okay. Whether you're on time, did you eat? Did your client eat? The experience while you're solving the problem, while you're doing the tattoo, is what brings people back. If you're on time, punctual, you look good, you feel good, you do good. Did you offer your client water? Were they comfortable with you the whole time? Yeah. Were you taking too many breaks? You know, did he notice you were smelling like weed or whatever? Even the little tiniest things all come into play when you're doing large scale pieces. So execution is a huge part of it, because not only are you're just solving the problem, it's using what the first 3 steps and
applying it.
And applying it, yeah. Mm-hmm. Sorry. Step 5, I think, is one of the more important ones. It's aftercare. I could do the best tattoo I've ever done in my life, but if you don't take care of it, and you go jump in a community pool, it's gonna mess up the tattoo. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, in real life, that's self-reflection, man. Like, so say the problem was fixing a leaky sink, you know? So we know the sink is leaking. How are we going to fix it? Well, we need to get these tools. Okay. So then how are you going to use those tools? What else do you need? Then actually fixing the sink, you just turn the water off while you fix the sink so you don't have a flood.
Right.
But then going back like, I should have used a 5/8 rather than a ratchet or something. Doing that, you're setting yourself up for success by you using your own self experience, because people can tell you left and right, hey, don't go left, but until you go left and have to make a U-turn, you're gonna realize like, oh, maybe go right. But the self-reflection and the aftermath, man, is it's key in growing as a person, and growing as an artist. And it's those 5 steps. They might have been a little confusing, sorry, but I'll go through them again. Step 1 is the consult. Consult is meeting the problem. Step 2, concepts, is how we're gonna solve the problem. Step 3 is the steps necessary to solve the problem with the equipment that we need, the the date and time or what we're gonna do, the design. Step 3 is the design. What pretty much, I think I got confused again. Damn it. But design. And then step 4 is execution, going about executing your plan. Step 5 is aftercare, aftermath, self reflection. Yeah.
Again, these are all 5 steps that you can apply in everyday life, like you mentioned earlier. It's just
Sorry, I got it.
It's tackling that.
I got a little stressed right there and mixed those up, but I think you could kind of get the picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sure. Man, and I kept it to myself, and then my buddy was like, "What are these 5 steps you keep telling yourself about it?" I was like, "That's just what I do," and me and him had a falling out, and I talked to him about a year later, and he's like, "Bro, I need to thank you," and I was like, "What for?" He said, "Those 5 steps I use in every day of my life."
There you know, yeah.
Whether it's getting to work on time or feeding my kids or buying a house, it's, anything in life, you gotta meet the problem head on. You don't run from it,
Yeah.
Figure out how you're gonna fix the problem. Then figure out like what's necessary, what you need to do, or the tools you need necessary to fix the problem. Then actually going about and fixing the damn problem.
Yeah.
Then sitting back like, all right, I could do this better. I could do that better. I could maybe work a little faster. Maybe I could use some help. Everybody could use help, but yeah, you could definitely use all those 5 steps. And I thought about this just because I knew in some areas I was lacking, whereas in other areas I was excelling. But I've always pushed myself to be a better man, a better artist, a better father, a better friend, and they help out in everything, in all walks of life. So
yeah, well, I definitely believe that trial and error is kind of what produces these 5, any kind of steps.
Yeah,
and it's trial and error. So I'm sure you kind of learn from all your experiences, right? I mean,
what failures? I didn't have
what failures. Not me. I was perfect, 100%.
Yeah,
every single time.
I'm so talented. No, yeah, man, and it was it takes a real man. What my dad taught me to be able to swallow his pride and say, "Hey, I messed up."
Yeah,
we're humans. We're gonna mess up. It takes a certain level of integrity of a man to say, "Hey, I messed up. I need to figure out why I messed up. How I'm going to do better next time."
Yeah.
And once you break through the barrier of doing that once, it makes it easier to do it again and do it again, to where then you can admit to your wife or your girlfriend, "Hey, babe, I messed up," or to your boss or whatever it is. "Hey, I ran into a problem. I went about it this way. I thought it was the best way, but after I fixed the problem, found the solution or whatever, I realized that maybe I could do it better this way," or whatever it is, And I don't say just men, but women also. I'm just not a woman, so I don't know. But honestly, that it's helped me be like I said, a better man, a better father, a better friend. But it shows through my work. If you skip one of the steps, it's going to show in your work. I mean, if you don't even know the problem, how are you going to execute the problem?
Right. Yeah.
If you don't
identify the problem, how do you know you have a problem?
Exactly. Yeah. If you don't have a step-by-step, okay, so I have to put the socket on the wrench. Those are the steps that you need. As elementary as it sounds, like, yes, you do need to tell yourself, okay, I need to put this socket onto this wrench and apply it with this pressure. Just giving examples. The step-by-step process is, I put it into play to kind of slow myself down. Yeah. Because sometimes my brain works so fast and I'm going 8 different directions, as you can tell from this interview. But it really slows you down. And okay, so I'm not even done with step 2, which is the concepts. I don't even know my concepts. I don't even have them on paper. So how am I supposed to give this guy a half sleeve of nautical theme and when I don't have my concepts down, you know? So if you follow those 5 steps, I promise you there will be little to nothing that can stand in your way of achieving any dream or goal or anything that you have, you know? It's helped me, honestly. I think I should write a book.
Oh, you definitely should. That's what I was telling you before. Like, all the talent that you have here and you express on the wall and with your visual art, if you put that thing on paper, I think it's gonna be a good book.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously ends with your 5 steps.
Well, I appreciate that very much, man.
Yeah.
That means a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
I take my life seriously.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a lot of people, I take my job seriously.
Right.
I take my family seriously. I take my life seriously,
Yeah.
bro. You only get one chance. You only get one shot, you know? Not a lot of people, they know that, but they don't realize that. And it's on a daily grind, daily hustle, to whereas a thought turns into an action turns into a habit turns into your character,
Mm-hmm.
you know? I take my life very seriously, bro. Like, yeah, I mean, just like everybody, you know, a few accidents, few mishaps here and there, but it's led me to believe that I was here to achieve certain goals and certain things, that maybe be a leader to certain other people.
Yeah.
Which helps with the programs that I think we were supposed to talk about, like the Ink for Addicts program.
That was
bring
one,
that up. I run a Ink for Addicts program. So it came across. I had this high school friend. She was a dear friend of mine, honestly, best friends. First time I ever got drunk, she took me home and took care of me, you know?
Yeah.
She had a drug problem, you know? I won't name names or tell drugs, but she had a drug problem. She came to the shop one night, and I just wanted to tattoo her. So, hey, let me see your arm real quick. I wanted to place a stencil, you know? And it was in the middle of summer, and she was wearing a tracksuit in Southern California.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little off.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, there's some track marks or whatever you want to say. And
No pun intended with the tracksuit and track marks.
no. Hey, though. I was slick. Yeah. But yeah, I said, hey, what? I thought you're done with that, and she's like, man, I tried, but it's like I fall right back into it, you know. And so when I was trying to tattoo her, and she couldn't sit still for nothing, you know. It's super sensitive, and I know this girl. She was a very, very tough chick, but it was a weak point, you know.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, how can I help her? So I told her, hey, come back to me in a week, and I'm gonna drug test you, and if you're clean, I'm gonna tattoo you for free.
Yeah.
And she said, what? No way. And I was like, no, yes way. You come to me. Well, I figured out which drug she was using or whatever, and I did the math, and I told her, you come to me, I'll pay for the drug test. I'll even pay to come to you or wherever it is. And if you test clean for me, I will tattoo you for free.
Yeah.
Okay. And boom, like the wheels started turning from there, you know?
Yeah.
And I sat there and I was like, I'm gonna do this for everybody.
Yeah.
You know? I'll stay vague with it too. I've had a problem with addiction. I battled addiction too. And I only wish that, I mean, the majority of my body is tattooed, but back before I spent all that money,
Yeah.
I wish that somebody had done that for me, because that a lot of addicts, they're looking for a reason not to use. Okay, they can't get out of their family, which are active addicts. They can't get out of the circle of friends, the shops, or whatever. So it's all around them, but they need a reason to stay clean.
Yeah.
So I was trying to give people a reason to stay clean, whereas the program is mainly for active addicts that if they, for 2 weeks, they come to my shop, I'll have drug tests there for them, and they test for me. Okay. Like I said, I was an addict, so I know all the bells and whistles, bro. I know if you're using fake piss. I know if you're
Yeah.
if you're using your sister's pregnancy piss or whatever.
Yeah.
And so through that, I posted a pretty long little thing on my Instagram, and I'll tell you what, bro. Overnight, I think I had probably 200 likes on that thing,
Yeah.
which was pretty insane.
Yeah.
But the response that I got was pretty amazing. You know, people could see that it was genuine. You know.
Yeah.
Like they knew that I had a problem with addiction. I battle addiction too, but it was gonna help me as much as it was gonna help them.
Right.
Because every addict has a story, bro. And believe it or not, they're the most interesting freaking stories you get every year. You know.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, I would tell. I told him it would be 100% anonymous. You know, nobody would know. Nobody would ever know. I keep it with this story. I keep it pretty anonymous. No names or nothing like that. The response was amazing. The follow through was not. It took some time for people to trust in that, because being an addict, you know, you want to do your drugs.
I'm sure you're skeptical too, right?
Yeah, like who's this guy? What, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Can I trust this guy?
It took one guy. I felt like he was gonna die if he kept going down the road he was going down.
Yeah.
Very scary, doing some heavy drugs, and his girlfriend followed me. I didn't know either of them. They just followed me on my page, and they came, and you know, he admitted to me that he was using, and he was in a halfway home, I think they're called, or a drug-free home, but he was clean at that point. You know, he was still using prior to that, but he had waited the 3-day period so that he would pee clean. Yeah. So I made him pee right then and there. He came back in a couple of days, and then 2 weeks passed, and he was clean. So I gave him a forearm tattoo. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you what, bro, like I said, I battle addiction. I could see in people's faces the feeling of getting high. The look on that dude's face when he looked down and he was like, he earned that tattoo through sobriety, just being sober. And he wanted to give me money. He wanted to even tip me. And I said, bro, no, you earned that. You did. No one else helped you. You had a goal. Okay. Step 1, I want to get tattooed. Yeah. Okay. Consult. Step 2. I have no money to get tattooed, so how am I going to get, you know? Yeah. Step 3 was the concepts. Okay, well, this guy has a way for me to get tattooed. All I have to do is stay clean. Step 4, execution, not do drugs. Yeah. Step 5, or aftercare. When he looked down at his arm and he saw that tattoo, that was when he realized it's not that hard. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the 5 steps in that guy's life planned out. For example. And honestly, like, I broke down, like, I wiped him up, and then he left, and I kind of broke down in the back, like, damn, he would have lost his life, you know? Yeah. As minuscule as it sounds, or as big as it sounds, like, I was able to help him, you know? Mm-hmm. Through art, through tattooing, bro. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm sure every time he goes down and looks at it, he's going to remember, you know, this is sobriety right here.
Exactly, you know? And it was a very humbling, touching experience for me. Being able that going back to my roots, man, I got expelled for writing on walls. Right. Now I'm writing on people, helping people through their battle addiction. Yeah. Like it was insane to me. Like that's what tattooing's given me, you know? And I say it all the time, tattooing saved my life in so many different aspects, whereas it allows me to make a certain amount of money to where I could try and spend more time with my kids. I can afford, if I want to live a bougie life, I could do some of the more lavish things with them, but also that I'm able to give back to the community and give back to the people, man, because at the end of the day, that's, I feel I've been doing a lot more of that lately with my different programs and charity work. And there's not, like with those 25 foster boys, each one of them came up after we were done and shook my hand without having to be told to. And it meant a lot to them, you know? Oh, yeah. A quick little funny story. They were at the end. They were cleaning up, and I said, "Hey, how many guys have girlfriends?" Not very many of them raised their hands. And I said, "How many guys know the prettiest girl in school?" All of them, you know. Yeah. And I was like, "Check this out, guys. I promise you, if you paint that girl a picture and you take a painting to her, something that's, hey, I saw this flower and I thought of you, or hey, I saw this car and I thought of you. You take that to her." I promise each and every one of you, if she didn't notice you before, she will notice you now. Yeah. And she may or may not be interested, but you are on the radar now. You know, it's going to give you a shot. Yeah. If you have family members and you don't have money for their birthday, but you want to show your appreciation, paint them a picture. It shows that you took the time to think about them, and you know, it just shows appreciation. Yeah. Always doing something from the heart is better than buying something.
Oh, 100%. You know? Yeah.
That all of them. We're on it, boss. But yeah, that was quite an experience, honestly, because, you know, I didn't grow up with the worst uprising. Mm-hmm. I didn't grow up with the best. I was middle class, you know. My parents were there when they could be. I had everything I needed, but I always felt like I was put here for a purpose, man. And I always thought it was to be a tattooer, but now doing all this, it's to be a leader and to be a helper and be, you know, a shaper of the future is what I like to say, because helping people out and, you know, kind of guiding them. I'm not saying down the bad path, but down a different path, you know. Yeah. Art traces all the way back to the caveman times, the hieroglyphics. You know, that's one of the oldest ways of communication is through art. So, I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for you for allowing me to be on your podcast. It's very, very cool. First time I ever did this, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You
Like
could tell I got a little nervous there for a minute. I was like,
you're kind of natural though.
I could talk, bro. Hey, in high school, man, I was writing my buddy's essays because I could just write. Like, I don't know. I got a story to tell, dude. You know?
Oh, dude, you definitely do, and I don't even think it's over. I think it's just kind of beginning.
Oh, it always one of my first tattoos. It's my buddy did it for me, okay? And it was my story is the beginning or something like that. But he spelled it wrong.
Yeah.
It's beginning has 2 N's in it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He put beginning. Like it's spelled wrong. He put BEGINING.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be 2 N's. Yeah. But that's
always. How'd you get him back?
I tattooed his butt.
What did you tattoo?
There was this movie. I don't know if you ever seen it with James Franco.
Insert here.
No. It said it was called The Interview, the movie. Where one of the lines was, "They hate us because they ain't us."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wrote that straight across that dude's butt cheeks, bro. Big. Like, if you ever got up from sleeping with somebody and they saw that, like, what does that say? They hate us because they ain't us. Like, oh, dude, I told him, hey, bro, you will forever never have to buy a drink at a bar again because, bro, bet I don't have that written on my ass. You know?
Yeah.
He was a childhood friend, man. I started tattooing out of his house. He's a really good buddy of mine. He's doing really good. Shout out. Dope bowl. He's one of my famous hashtags on Instagram is dope shit for yo bitch ass.
Dope shit for your bitch ass.
Dope shit, the number 4.
Oh, okay.
Yo bitch ass.
Yeah.
That was what you remember back in the day when you make mixed CDs.
Oh yeah.
And you'd write on the top of the CD.
Yeah.
It was dope shit for your bitch ass number 1. Dope shit for your bitch ass number 2.
Yeah.
And we knew that by the CDs, and then I just put it on my Instagram. And dude, if anybody ever needs my work, I'm just like, hey, hashtag dope shit for your bitch ass. What?
Yeah. Are you still using that hashtag?
Every day.
There you go.
Shout out Saving Private Ryan on Instagram.
That's right. You guys want to follow him right now? Rhyan Schouman. I'm sorry. See, I was going to do that Shao band again.
That's the quickest way to die in the West.
Oh, no, right?
No, just kidding.
Rhyan Schouman on Instagram. He's Saving Private _Ryan.
Saving Private. You could just type in just Saving Private, and I'll be the first one that pops up.
Is it really?
Yeah. I'm pretty popular, bro.
Damn.
Well, it all stems from my air guitar background. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
No, yeah, it's right there. Just Saving Private, and then you make sure you spell my name with an H, RHYAN,
right.
Because I'm different.
That's right.
Shout out 2 Chainz, but I'm different.
No, the song.
You looked at me like, bro, what'd you do?
I'm not that old, bro. I mean, I'm old, but I'm not that.
Hey, man, I got more gray hair than you, bro.
Yeah, but that's true.
Yeah. But no, yeah. Thank you very much.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate what you're doing. Keep it up, and I'll keep following you, man. And we got to reconnect again.
Oh, we definitely will, man.
We'll do something. Maybe you come to my studio this time.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be from the sounds. I'm gonna be over there painting.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
We'll have a little something coming out later on.
Yep.
You guys look out for this interview. It's gonna be dropping. Well, I'm not on the live. I don't know why I was doing that intro, but or outro. But yeah, this episode will be on Tuesday, and for everybody that wants to hear. This is Fidel. That's Ryan. Talking Again podcast, The Tap. We're out.
Peace.